Hi, my fellow Librans. How are we? Welcome to Leo season. Oh, look at that right off bat. So we are not feeling, we're not feeling it. Justice reversed. We feel knocked off balance, all out of whack. People aren't getting it. Biases, judgmental people, family drama, work drama. Some of you may have found a new direction and you're having trouble adjusting. You've been knocked off balance, you've been pushed in a new direction, especially for Libra risings, and now you're like, whoa, there's all kinds of miscommunications going on in the work life. It's just insane. We don't know what to do about the family, like everything's just not balanced. And you know, if you go back through the last few months readings, like it's kind of been knocked off balance for a while, right? Like we've been a little knocked off balance for a hot minute. I mean, like the Queen of Swords came out. She was not playing around with us. So, the High Priestess, it's time to take a step back. As things start getting closer and closer to Virgo, you kind of seclude and retreat and get quiet and listen to that inner voice inside of you. Listen to that inner wisdom inside of you, because it's going to be very, very tempting as we get closer and closer to your 12th house to fall into this poor me, blah, 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 old behaviors, etc., etc. When Libras get off balance is when shit can get cray-cray. So we feel like we have to balance out the chaos with fear, basically. Some of you guys could be dealing with a Capricorn that, I feel like you guys keep getting the Nine of Swords. A Capricorn that's like really stressing you out, that you just really want to get away from. If you're not dealing with a Capricorn, this is just your own fears, your own shadow side, your own darkness, your own toxic energy. Someone you know could also be struggling with like addiction issues and you're just like fed up. You could be even, like that person could be you as well. So, let's see what else comes out. Queen of Cups, water energy. So, then we have the healing. Then we have that nurturing feeling. Because the Queen of Cups, is looking straight at the Seven of Swords, and she is not judging him one bit. She's showing him mercy. She's showing him love. She's showing him trust, you know? And I think that could be it. Some of you are having trouble trusting someone or something. Queen of Wands. So, interesting. Leo season is asking you to stand up for yourself. It's asking you to be bold. It's asking you to get out of the emotional waters of Cancer season now. Not to like run away from the emotions, but to feel the emotions and learn how to work with it. Some of you could be hiding something. All out of balance, Libra. What is going on? This fire sign could truly be a Sagittarius. I believe you guys came up for them as well. So, there's a real strong need here to trust. As we're in Leo, which is the 11th house for you guys, we are in a place where There is new beginnings with social circles, with groups of people, with your dreams, your wishes, like your hopes and wishes, basically. But do you have the strength? Do you have the courage to go after what you want? You know what I mean? Mercury's in your career house. It's been retrograding in your house of power, authority, career, leadership. It's asking you to find your power here, Libra. To truly find your power and to get out of this constant head energy, like this constant all up in your head, air sign style energy. You know what I mean? Like self-victimization kind of energy. Like release the bondage that you're, like the self-imposed bondage. Like that's what the Eight of Swords is that I just showed you. To go within, you know, like as we get closer to the 12th house, especially for Leo or Libra risings, your insecurities that you hide are going to come up, and the behaviors of wanting to escape it are going to come up with it. And it's important that you pull a Queen of Cups and you're like, okay, like this literally sucks, but I don't want to cling to this. I don't want to hold on to this energy and suffer with it. Like, I want to let it go. And then that's when you pull the Leo fire and you're like, okay, I felt it, I've balanced it out, and I've found my power. But it's important for you to be to be patient with yourself, because Temperance reversed is impatient. Like, patience. Feel that fire, but also stay grounded with the King of Pentacles. You guys have a lot of people coming up here, which, I mean, Leo is your 11th house, so it is a social month. It's also important to kind of stay quiet and not get involved in any games of biases, right and wrong, good and bad, etc., etc., because people are going to trigger you. There's like this social justice theme kind of coming up in your reading, and it may trigger you because you're already triggered. So every little thing that comes up is gonna trigger you right now. But it's asking you to heal. It's asking you to have patience, to go within, to relax, to feel the energy, but let it run through you. Don't cling to it. You know what I mean? Don't cling to it. So, there's that. We'll go over more in your in the extended bonus on Patreon. So, let's show you your cards and go over what else is happening for you guys this month. So, these are your cards. Libra, my lovely Librans. So we're imbalanced. There's something that we may be kind of keeping internally, like a truth that we may not be sharing with Justice reversed. Some of you guys could literally be involved in legal issues that may kind of not go how you thought they would. Some of you guys are dealing with work or family issues that just seem really unfair, really not, like, just not balanced. You're having trouble keeping the peace here. And I think the High Priestess is telling you it's time to take a step back and stop worrying about everybody else's imbalances and worry about our own internal imbalance, right? Some of you are dealing with a Capricorn that you haven't heard from, that you fear is being sneaky, possibly with a water sign or even a fire sign. Some of you are just taking some time, like mid-month, to really focus on your insecurities and to heal. And then we move into the Queen of Wands. So this could be a Sagittarius in your life or another fire sign in your life. Or this could be asking you to stand your ground. Because Temperance upright is normally all about keeping the peace. It's all about not choosing a side, keeping the peace, etc. And I think as much as you maybe want to get involved now you need to focus on you. But towards the end of the month, then you can stand your ground if you need to, especially involving an earth sign. Once you're recovered, once you've had your rejuvenation process completed, that is when you can start owning your own power. There could be kind of a back and forth that was going on with somebody that ends up kind of getting cut off with Temperance reversed towards the end of the month, Libra. So the Leo new moon is happening in your 11th house, and I think this is going to be kind of like a moment of clarity or a new step forward somehow when it comes to your relationships and your social circles. Now this could be a little bit surprising in some way, however that ends up happening, but basically it's going to deal with groups of people, humanitarian work, like maybe you even are asked to somehow be in front of a group of people, or somehow you're surrounded by more people, etc. Like the 11th house is very social, and then with Justice here, it's like you could really start getting irritated with other people's delusions or ideas, and that's why it's really important to step back and kind of like rejuvenate, reprocess, revise, trust in your intuition, etc. So then we have Mercury direct in your 10th house. So things to do with your power, things to do with your career that have been going on. The answers start kind of unfolding starting the end of August into, the end of July into August. Jupiter will go direct in your 3rd house. So this deals with communications, friends. It deals with just basically communications, situations, technology, the internet, social media, the mind. That happens on the 11th. So you've been kind of learning lessons to do with logical thinking and ways of thinking and behavioral patterns and certain kind of ways of doing things. And when Jupiter goes direct, I think like that lesson starts becoming more and more clear to you guys. And then also on the 11th, Uranus retrograde happens, and this happens in the 8th house for Libra. And so this is a really big deal. This is when we start dealing with money, other people's resources, debts, loans, taxes, anything that any money that you get that you did not go to a job and work for yourself, any income that you did not generate 100% for yourself, so your partner's income, all of the other stuff that I named. If you're in any debt, if you're dealing with any kind of like resource loan issues or legal issues, Uranus will definitely spice things up in your life in a very surprising way in order to clear a path for you to break free, to no longer have anything like holding you down. So if you were like trying to keep the peace with someone or an organization or something, I feel like that kind of starts falling through towards the end of the month. But the 8th house is also the house of sex, esoteric stuff, the occult, deep hidden truths, etc. So when Uranus goes retrograde, I think it could also bring up themes from last year, the year before, for you to look at and take and heal. So if things start coming up, if insecurities start coming up, if fears start coming up about the past, it's really important to look at them just like the Queen of Pentacles is looking at this guy smiling in her face while he's stealing swords. She's looking at him with a smile, non-judgmental, very loving, very caring. And it's really important for you to do that to yourself, Libra. Like, really important. So, the Aquarius full moon is happening on the 15th, and this is going to be in a place for you that's all about work, your daily routine, your health. So it's really going to be about self-care. Are you taking care of yourself? Are you, like, how's work going? How's your daily routine? And I think, like, this could be releasing bad habits to do in those areas of your life. This could be endings of certain situations to do in those areas of your life as well. Mars, Venus, Mercury, and the Sun will then move into Virgo towards the end of the month, and this is when we start really getting into that 12th house energy. And I know for me as a Leo rising, I kind of like worked through a lot of the 12th house stuff right before my 12th house transit actually happened. So if you kind of start working on it, when subconscious things get dug up, if you kind of start working on it, you kind of start working on healing and not being so hard on yourself, that is when things will start to flow. And then you can kind of like deal with it before it even happens. You know what I mean? Because for me, at least, I start feeling astrological events and stuff like planets and all of that, transits and all of that, normally like way before they happen. It starts affecting me. So, and it looks like you guys may start feeling the same way. Like there's some situations in your life that are just lacking harmony, and that's not good for a Libra. Like that throws us all off balance. So it's really important that if you have any fears, that if you're dealing with any of your like shadow side, your fears, obsessions that are like keeping you up at night, nightmares, you know what I mean? It's important that you pay attention to those. Because the 12th house is the house of the subconscious, so it could be bringing these up through your dreams as well. So anyways, once everything moves into your 12th house of Virgo, it's really going to be about dealing and healing and releasing, like dealing with all of those subconscious things, old behavior patterns, old ways of thinking, old ways of doing things, karmic stuff, situations from the past, synchronistic stuff. It's going to be really about dealing with all of that, healing it and releasing it, letting the cycle close and end. So then we have the Virgo new moon, which is conjunct Mars, Venus, and Mercury in your 12th house on August 30th as well. So this is going to be a huge step forward. I think a huge change, a huge release of energy, in my opinion. Huge clarity, huge just subconscious clarity, I think. And I think it's going to be good, honestly. I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be helpful, even if it may not seem like 100% good at the time. I think that it is. I think it's pushing you in basically a where you're supposed to be going, basically, if that makes sense. So yeah, Libra, I will clarify all of this over on Patreon and the extended bonus reading. If you want to learn more about my Patreon, just see the description below. I'm also starting a soul alignment and spirituality course for the top 2 membership levels of my Patreon. You can see that on my new website, tawnymichelleyt.com. You can learn more there, or you can learn more on Patreon. Also, for anybody that has a Leo Sun, Leo Rising, Leo Moon, I am having $10 off all my readings for the next few weeks for those of you that have those placements. So definitely make sure to hit me up on my website. You can book readings there now, or you can email me. Everything you need to know is down in the description below. Anyways, my lovely fellow Librans, I love you guys, and I hope this was helpful. Let me know down below if it resonated. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and you turn the notifications on if you want to be notified when I upload my videos, and I will see you guys in my other videos. Bye!